All right, this is our last section for Unit 2. This is 2.4, parallel and perpendicular lines. So we need to know that parallel lines, which are like railroad tracks, and they never ever touch, they always have the same slope. So if you look at the picture here, each of these slopes, they're never going to touch. They run right alongside each other. The slope is 2 in both of those. Perpendicular lines, on the other hand, have slopes that are opposite or negative reciprocal. So if you look, the red line here has a slope of 3, and the blue line, which intersects at a right angle, which means they're perpendicular, has a slope of negative 1/3. So that's 3 over 1 flipped upside down to get the reciprocal and then negative. So we're going to write equations that deal with parallel and perpendicular lines. So this one says to write the equation of a line that is parallel to negative 3x plus 9 and goes through the point 1, 4. And you want to write that in slope-intercept form. So let's identify the slope. Our slope is negative 3. So now we need to use that new point to find our new y-intercept. So we're going to plug in what we know, and we're going to take the coordinates of the point and plug them in for your y and your x. So I have 4 equals negative 3 times 1 plus b. So I have 4 equals negative 3 plus b, and I'm going to add 3 each side. So my new y-intercept is 7. So I'm going to put all of that together. So y equals negative 3x plus 7. All right, so let's see what we get next. Write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals negative 2/3 x minus 6 and goes through the point 9, 9. And again, we want to write that. This time we're going to write it in point slope form. Point slope. Okay, let's find the slope. We know that it's perpendicular, so it's going to be the opposite reciprocal. So we're going to flip it upside down, and it's negative, so we're going to make it positive. So now we want point slope form. If you remember, that's point slope form. So all we need to do is now plug in the points. So we have y minus 9 equals 3 halves times the quantity of x minus 9. Just plugging things in. All right. Let's go to the next one. Write the equation of a line that is parallel to y equals 4x and goes through negative 1, 2 in standard form. Okay, so we got to read the whole thing carefully so we make sure we're writing it in the right form. So first, let's identify our slope. So we know that parallel lines have the same slope, so our slope is 4. Now let's get our y-intercept. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go to my slope-intercept form. You can also go to point slope form, but I'm going to plug in my coordinates to solve for b. So I have negative 2 equals negative 4 plus b. And I add 4, so I have b is equal to 2. So if I write it like this, y equals 4x plus 2, all I need to do is move that x over. So I have negative 4x plus y equals 2. And we know we can't have a negative leading coefficient, so I'm going to divide by negative 1. So I have 4x plus y equals, actually I'm going to switch the sign. Sorry, I got to switch all the signs. Hold on. This should be minus y equals negative 2. There we go, all in standard form. All right, number 4. Write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals 2x minus 1 and goes through the point 3, -2 in slope-intercept form. So we know that the slopes of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocal. So that slope is 2 over 1. So we're going to flip it upside down and make it the opposite sign. So our slope is -1/2. Now, I'm going to plug in the points to get my b. So -2 equals -1/2 times 3 over 1 plus b. So I have -2 equals -3/2 plus b. Okay, so -3/2, same as -1/2. So I'm going to add 3/2 to each side. So I am left with -1/2. I'm sorry. Yeah, -1/2. So my b is -1/2. So when I write all this together, I have y equals -1/2 x minus 1/2. All right, see what we have next. Number 5, write the equation of a line that is parallel to 2y minus 8 equals -7x and goes through the point 3, 4 in point slope form. Okay, this is kind of a trick because we really can't pull the slope off of that equation in this format. We need to get it to slope-intercept form first. So I'm going to rearrange it. So I'm going to add 8 each side. So I have 2y equals -7x plus 8. Okay, so now we got to get y by itself. So I'm going to divide everything by 2. So I have y equals negative, whoa, let's go back. 7/2 x plus 4. Okay, so now we know our slope is -7/2. We're looking for a line that's parallel, so it has the same slope to this. Now we're going to have to put it in point slope form. So we're going to use that point. Y minus 4 equals -7/2 quantity x minus 3. There we go. All right, we have one more of these. Write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to 3y equals 9x and goes through the y-intercept of 7y minus 14x equals 28. And you want to write that in standard form. You couldn't ask for a problem that includes more things. So first, let's find the slope of the first equation. So we got to get y by itself. So I'm going to divide by 3. So my slope is 3. But we want a line that is perpendicular to that. So you flip 3 over 1 upside down and make it negative. So the slope that we're going to use is -1/3. Now we want to rearrange the second one so we can find the y-intercept. So we have this equation, and we need to put that in slope-intercept form so we can find the b. So I am going to add 14x to both sides. So I have 7y equals 14x plus 28. Now I'm going to divide everything by 7. So I have y equals 2x plus 4. So here's my b, or my y-intercept. Okay, let's write this in slope-intercept form. So I have y equals -1/3 x plus 4. But this is asking for standard form. So now I'm going to rearrange this. So I'm going to add 1/3 x to each side. So I have 1/3 x plus y equals 4. We know we can't have fractions. That's a no-no in standard form, so we're going to get rid of that by multiplying everything by that denominator. So I have x plus 3y equals 12. There you go. Okay. Alrighty, let's move on. So determine whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So here's how you work these. You got to put them into a format where you can actually look at the slopes. All right, so we're going to move the first one around, which is really, they're really in slope-intercept form, but backwards. So I'm going to rewrite them. Y equals 5x minus 9. And then this one is y equals 1/2 x plus 3. So when we look at the slopes, they have no relationship. So this is a neither. Neither one. Okay. They're smaller, but look over here. Let me get a black pen. So let's rearrange this. If we are going to, I'm going to go over here. So if I have negative 6y equals 12 minus 2x, I got to divide everything by negative 6. That's the biggest negative sign I've ever seen. So we have y equals positive 1/3 x minus 2. So this one, if I divide everything by 3, will be y equals 1/3 x plus 4. So we look at our slopes, they're the same. So we know that they have the same slopes, they're parallel. Okay. I think this might be the same as the first one. Yeah, we already did this one. So that is all I have for you.